One of my favorite things to do with type in Illustrator is to change it from being type and turning it into something called outlines. Outlines are like vector art that you create yourself by using one of the tools here. So what you have here when you use the pen tool is you have outlines, you have vector artwork. And when you create text with the regular type tool and you type something, let me go ahead and increase the size of that. You have type. Okay, you still have a font that you can always change, and you can change the typeface. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. So I can double click on this and I can come back in here and I can change the word, and I can do all kinds of things. So it's still an active live font. But if I want to turn this into something like this that I can edit with the direct selection tool, and I can grab a point and move it around and really change the way this word looks, I have to take this guy and turn it into outlines. So let me go ahead and get rid of this, and I'm going to move this over here and I'll change it into a cooler word. Let's see here, I'll change it into bat, and I'll change the actual type itself, the font, into something else as well. So let me go to my type menu, I'll go to font, and let me go to something pretty thick like Arial Black so we can really see what I'm going to do here. And I'll increase the size by just simply dragging in the corners. Now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the type menu, and you're going to come down here to where it says create outlines. I'll go ahead and enable that, and you'll notice right away we have a change. I'll undo that so you can just pay attention right here. Here we have our font, and when I create the outlines we now have points, just as if though we had drawn it with the pen tool. Which means, of course, that I can take the direct selection tool now and I can click on the edge of a letter and I can modify the shape of that letter, something that would be impossible to do otherwise. So now I can take these and I can grab as many points as I want to, and I can change this around. And the cool thing about outlines is I can use any of the path editing tools to change it as well. So I can add points by going to my pen tool, clicking and holding the mouse down, and I'll go ahead and grab Mr. Add Anchor Point tool. And I'll click and add one here, and I'll add one here, and I'll add one in the middle. I'll add some down here. What I want to do is I want to create a more spiky look to this logo because the word is bat, so I try to get that bat feel. So I'm going to hold down the shift key because I have this point selected, and I'll grab this one over here, and I'll move them both up, and I'll go and do the same thing. I'll grab this middle one, I hold down the shift key, grab these guys, move that down, and as you can see, it's a lot of fun and it's very handy. So the advantage to using this outline method is that we can really modify a font and, well, do whatever we want to. The bad news is it's no longer editable as far as us being able to change the word itself or anything, so we can't even change the font. You'll notice that if I try to grab my type tool and I try to select, all I can do is create a type box here where I can input new text, and I'm going to type some in here. So you see I can't select it anymore. It is no longer considered a font that I can edit, which is the bad news. But if you want to experiment, I suggest that if you have a word that you really like, simply just make a copy of it. So let me just move this over and just give you an example. Let's say I have the word bat. I'll put it over here, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this yet, but I don't really want to type this or format it again. And let's just hypothetically pretend that I did all kinds of formatting to this. So I changed the spacing somehow. I'm going to just go ahead and Alt or Option drag click on this guy, and I make a copy. So I put that over there, and this would be the one that I modify. And I can always do that again and just keep experimenting on different versions of this, all the while keeping my original safe. And this will give me the option to present my client with different versions of this word formatted to his or her preferences. So that's how you can create outlines, which will give you the ability to take regular old fonts and turn them into something really cool.